head tennis coach Chris Cagle, joined by redshirt sophomore Jacqueline Zusi and sophomore Samantha Tuttleman. Coach, would you like to start an opening statement or just start with questions?
Sure, I'll make an opening statement. You know, obviously our team's excited for this year. We return a lot of student athletes that have won matches for us in the past, and we've added some talented newcomers. So our schedule's a challenging schedule. I think it'll help us in preparation for the Big Ten, and excited to have Sam and Jackie here today. So we'll go from there.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the Big Ten Conference as a whole? It seems like every week that you play a Big Ten Conference school, you've got to bring your 6 best games in there to get that victory.
Sure. You know, Big Ten is one of the top conferences in America, and that's why these two are here. They wanted to come and test themselves against best players, best teams in the country. We know if we do well within our conference, our national ranking will definitely take care of itself. So, you know, as I alluded to earlier, our preseason schedule is challenging. A lot of good teams in there. Kentucky just competed in the national indoors. We had a very competitive match with them 2 weeks ago. They went to Northwestern and won their section of the national indoors there. So, you know, all that's set up to prepare us so that when the Big Ten season comes, we're ready and we're firing on all cylinders.
Coach, you guys dropped your first 4 and then were able to win against Pitt. So what was the process like there? How did the team stay motivated to focus to well against Pittsburgh?
Well, I'll touch on that, and then I'll let Jackie and Sam follow up. But you know, we have a number of players that coming back maybe hadn't competed in a while, and our team's talked a lot about. I envision our team's going to get better and better as the season goes on. You could see we were 2 or 3 weeks better when we took on Pitt and knocked them off last week. They're a much improved team as well, and just had a really tough match with Louisville this weekend, who's a ranked team. So it was a good win for us. It'll give us confidence. It'll give us momentum going into Northwestern. But I envision our team improving throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, our first match, we dropped 4-3 to Tulane. We had me, Jack, and Devin, all who haven't competed in really over a year, so that's tough. And, I mean, the margins are small, and I think every day we're holding each other accountable and, like Coach said, getting better to keep going.
I think even though the scores might not have said it, that each one was close and that we felt like each loss was close, and then each time we stepped on the court, there was something that we improved upon. So I think the constant improving let us stay motivated. We weren't really down on ourselves after each loss.
Coach, and actually we'll kind of direct this to both athletes as well. You have a talented lineup that is very young overall. How do you, as a head coach, help guide, even though they may have played some last year and have some experience on whatever level, how do you guide younger athletes through what has been and certainly will be a challenging schedule in terms of their attitude and their mindset, focusing on the process?
Sure, and Jackie did an excellent job in her description. I think it is a process. We know we're going to get better. Each time we go out and compete, it's another match repetition for us to learn some areas that we're doing well, but areas we need to improve also. So they know it's a process. We luckily we get to work with our team as a group, but also in individual practices throughout the week. And there's things that we're constantly working on, evolving, and they're motivated. And that's, you know, really the credit goes to them for the obviously for the match against Pitt, because they came through in some situations where maybe we hadn't come through earlier in the year, and that's just them getting better, working hard.
Yeah, and I mean, we are a young team, but we all like push each other every day, and we know it's a process. The whole season is going to be tough, but I mean, I think, like I said before, every day we try and get each other to go to different levels, and we're just trying to get better.
And I think that we're a young team means that we're kind of like feisty, and we're not going to be as maybe like an old dog and sleeping on the side. We're going to want to go and be aggressive and get the points that we can against the stronger teams that we might not be able to win, maybe per se, if we're a quote-unquote older team. So I think it's good to be a younger team sometimes.
I mean, your results have shown, and you can certainly see the trajectory and the path. Have you embraced that role of kind of the young kid, kind of knocking on the door of some of the veteran teams you have played, and certainly you're going to get to play in the Big Ten? Okay.
I feel like that's definitely kind of our role, because especially after last year, we had a very up and down year last year, lots of injuries. So we kind of have this new year to just break free and break into the Big Ten and be like, we're Penn State, we can do what we want, we can do well. So I think this will be a really good year for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we don't have much to lose. Last year we were hampered by some injuries, and so we're really excited just to all be healthy, and I only see this team going up from here, so it's really exciting for us.
There's a general feeling around both tennis programs at Penn State that there's a buzz, and there's an enthusiasm between the success that Jeff's team has had and obviously the youth that you guys have and the results that fans and we're all beginning to see. Can you as athletes feel it, or are you kind of inside of it and do you have to kind of divorce yourself from that good buzz or anything bad that might be going on? Can you feel the positive movement that's happening in and around Sarnia?
I mean, we're pretty close, I think, with the men's team, and we both want each other to be doing well, and we know the men's team had an awesome year last year and continue, and we just want the same. They want it for us, and we want it for them, so we're all super excited, and we think that both programs can do awesome this year.
No, I agree completely with Sam. We are really close to the men's team, and that seeing their success last year kind of even makes it, we want it more. We want to do as well as they did. And I think we also have to just remember that we still have to work hard and that the season's not even close to being over yet. So.
You said the team is a young team. Are there any players that you look specifically to for leadership?
Is that to me or?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll start. And it's a general theme within our team. We've got a number of different leaders. We've got folks that step up in a number of different ways within our team, within the dynamics, within communications with me and Coach Fenwick. So I wouldn't say that there's one particular. I just think there's a lot of leaders on this team.
Yeah, we are, again, a young team. I think that it's not like one person's dictating to everyone. It's kind of everyone pushing each other, and we're all trying to help each other out.
It's definitely a democracy. There's no dictatorship in women's tennis. But each member has their own specific skills that they can lead to the team, and each one is a leader. And let's say one day one has a suggestion that might help a little bit more than someone else, but everyone brings something to the table, which is really, really nice.
As you begin to see this click, and it's starting to click now, can you look back over the past, even starting last year to now, was there any one thing that you saw happen, whether it be in a match or in a practice or on a team trip, that you said to yourselves, okay, this is starting to come together, we're kind of getting this? Is there any one thing or one trip or one win for either athlete or coach, Cagle, that you could look at?
Well, I didn't travel that much last year, but during practice, I think even though we had not a great year last year, the energy that we brought to practice and everything, I know stories I've heard from the team trips that everyone was motivated. I think as long as we keep that motivation, that will help us. We may not necessarily have that click, but that click is going to take us through the whole, it's going to be a huge click. It's not just going to be a click for a little 2-second time.
Yeah, and I think especially this year, after every match, we always talk, and it's been very positive, and the team's been very motivated and just encouraging each other. And after William and Mary in particular, we talked about every day putting in the work, and then we played Kentucky, which is a tough team, and it was close. We thought our level was getting better, and then we got our first win this past week, which was great for us. So it's all coming together.
Chris?
Yeah, it's definitely a building process, as we've talked about. Even though we might not have had as many wins as we'd like last year, some of the ways that we competed and then ultimately did come through is only going to help us this year. And then we've got some of our student athletes that are back that didn't compete last year that are in the mix, but they've they've seen it, and some of the ones that played last year and have been in the battles, they're better. And we've added a few new players to our team this year as well. So, you know, when you take that competitiveness and then you add us getting healthier and being in the battles, that's what's going to create momentum for us, and we'll build on it, and the wins will come.
Anything else for Coach or the girls? All right, thank you.
Sure thing. Thank you.